Yo, what is up? This is Brandon Moore from More to the Game. Listen, welcome back. Welcome back for another show. Hey, I want to thank you all for tuning in, supporting, sharing, all that good stuff, man. Y'all know the purpose. Purpose is to highlight some of our athletes, highlight some topics that we need to discuss. That literally go along with being an athlete, but let alone just being a person. But literally just giving some insight, some insight, some kudos to our local talent and moving up regionally. Listen, just thank everybody for tuning in and sharing. Hey, keep sharing, but most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Jim Mint 10 Sports. Hit the subscribe button and then hit that. I think it's a little plus sign, whatever, or a little bell, so you can know every time I got a live show going on. Okay. Hey, listen, I got a sneeze coming. Whew. Never mind. Went back in. But listen, hey, most importantly, normally I have this script, right? I have this script. I'm very methodical in certain things I do. I got this script, and this is what I want to talk about today. How long I want to stay, but today, nah. But I just want y'all just to pay attention. Pay attention. First of all, let me give kudos, man. We've had some amazing basketball games this week down here in Kentucky, and I'm telling y'all, Louisville, for one, Louisville is the hidden gem. Yes, we talk about what basketball's better: Kentucky, Indiana, Chicago, New York. My first two episodes, we kind of got into that a little bit. I ain't forgot. We going back to that, but literally, we talked about that, man, and talking about that kind of opens up, and it's like you want to dive into your cities, right? Like, what is the city that is mainly known to carry that state in basketball? And I'm gonna tell you, man, Louisville. I mean, I'm going to these games, and I mean, it's amazing. The ambiance, the support that these schools are getting it's amazing. It's amazing. So kudos, shout out to Louisville, shout out to all of Jefferson County public schools, the private schools, charter schools, everybody. Shout y'all out, man, for the support that you all give these young kids because they need it. But listen, I went to a few games, man, and I mean, I was highly impressed. Highly impressed. I'm not going to dive into it too deeply, but I do want to shout out some players. I got to shout out some players. Shout out to Jeray Brown. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I'm saying your name correctly. Um, his dad, I know his dad, Coach Alexander. Man, you all guys are doing a great job over there at WEB Du Bois. I'm telling you, man, you all played so hard, so hard against male, for the district. And I'm telling my man, Jeray, he's an elite talent. If you're listening to this, Jeray, he's only a sophomore at WEB Du Bois High School. He's only a sophomore. This kid is an elite player, impacts the game in so many different ways. Shout out. Hey, the season, the season, yes, it didn't end the way you wanted to, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. Build on that, build on that, build on that. I look forward to seeing you this summer. Great job. Listen, there's also Nico out of PRP. Congratulations, man. Solid performance. Great job on PRP winning the district. Now they move on to regionals. And listen, I told y'all what was going to happen, but I'm gonna say it. Jeremiah Jackson out of Saint X, Region 7, Player of the Year. Congratulations. Great job on Saint X winning the district. Um, and I'm gonna tell you something. Another one. Well, I'm gonna shout out this team, Trinity High School. Man, went through some bumps and bruises early in the season, but seemed to kind of come along. They are a dangerous team in that region tournament. I'm telling you now, they are a dangerous team. I went to go see them play Atherton. Right, I complimented Atherton the first time I seen them a few weeks ago, and nothing has changed. I mean, they are Atherton. Atherton. Atherton is going to be really good. I'm gonna just say that now. They're a solid team now. The coaching staff over there, Atherton, is doing a great job. Hey, keep it up. Shout out to Atherton. But Trinity High School, man, Brett Saxon is over there. Tyler Roberson is over there. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You guys have the team. You guys have the team and watch you all play, man. That Region Seven, whoo, next week is going to be a monster. That Region Seven is going to be a monster, and I'm excited to catch some games. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Trinity Saint X final. I don't know what the pairings are yet, but I'm gonna say if the pairings are not um, Saint X and Trinity on the same side, I'm gonna call it championship game to go to state. It's gonna come down to Saint X High School coming out of the Region Seven. Region Six. Listen, I did say it was gonna go through PRP and Butler. I did say that. I did say that Butler lost in the district. I don't know what the pairings going to be, so we'll have to see. But great job by you guys as well. One thing is, I don't know if you all been paying attention to the sports news, but a couple people been making some headlines and positive headlines, right? Positive headlines, and we don't really talk about this, and I don't, and I, you know, I'm guilty of it. I know a lot of people will guilty of, especially if you've played, right? If you've been on, you played on some type of higher level. I don't care if it's JUCO, NAIA, Division three, two, one, whatever. Is we have this notion that it's okay not to have a backup plan, right? And I'm gonna disagree with that. I'm gonna disagree with that. When I was growing up, it was school was very, very big. It was you got to get your education. You got to have a backup plan. You got to have a backup plan. As I got older, I started getting around more and more people who said, "Oh, having a plan B means you're not focused on your plan A," and that's not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. Um, and I see what happens is all these kids at such a young age, they put all their marbles into this basket, right? And this basket is trying to go pro, want to go Division 1, whatever. And it really depends on the level in which they put all their marbles in. Okay. What I mean by that is me, only thing I want out of my kids, I don't care if my kids play sports. Do I love that they all play sports? Yes. Do I love that my stepson is playing basketball? Absolutely. Do I love that my daughter is playing lacrosse, field hockey? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's great. I think sports is the best thing that a kid can get involved in. My young ones are going, one's in gymnastics, one's in track. We're, they're going to take up soccer this spring. So I love that because of what sports teaches you. Okay. Now, if my son or my daughter came and said, Dad, you know what? I don't want to play. I don't want to play anymore after high school. Okay. What do you want to do? Then that's where the conversation, I feel like, as a society and sometimes even culturally, kind of it doesn't get talked about when it comes to, hey, who's recruiting you? How many points are you scoring? Man, we got to transfer you schools so you can be the man, so you can be the spotlight, right? So, what I'm saying is that, like, we get stuck as athletes. We've all had a period of what are we going to do next? Because for so long our life was consumed with practices, workouts, games, travel. I mean, it was so consumed. You thought about the game, you studied the game, it was just so consumed that sometimes you just was like you didn't really think about anything else. Everything else you were just going through the motions, right? You were just going through the motions. But I think there comes a period where we have to sit back and we have to think like, look, man, are we feeding these kids the right ingredients, right? Are we feeding them the right ingredients for success? And then on top of that, it's like, what does success even mean? How early do you start talking about that? How early do you start talking about, you know, your education, or not just that, getting a trade, or the military, or, um, whatever the case may be, like, focusing on entrepreneurship. Like, How often do you talk about that? That's important. That's very, very important, right? Most of the times, what I have figured out in me studying, being around people, traveling for basketball, all that stuff is like, man, when I'm talking to people, it's like they're only telling you to get your grades so you can keep playing this sport that they hope is going to get you some money. Especially now, since the times have changed, where you know the times have changed where college coaches don't really go to high school games as much anymore. Now, college coaches, they're literally going to these AAU tournaments, right? Going to these AAU tournaments, they're watching on social media. That's where they get the recruiting from. So there's not much that goes into the high school coach coming to your school, stopping by the front desk to check your grades, all that stuff. Like those days are gone. Those days are gone, and it's almost like with that said, it's like you know, are we teaching these kids because the reason I say that is because now we do so more of teaching kids leave where you're not happy, leave where the situation not suits you, right? But what if that situation is actually good for that person's development as a person, as a man, as a fixture in a community? We don't really think about that, right? I think Jeff Teague on his show, the 520 podcast. Shout out to Jeff Teague, man. Shout out to Jeff Teague. Doing a great job on your show. And hey, you're doing a great job at Pike High School, man. Like I said, I used to coach up there at Chatard, so being around the basketball up there is an amazing time as well. But yeah, he had said something that the problem starts because that's you grow up in basketball. That's all you know how to do. Like I will say this, that I went to several different schools in college to play basketball. Right, I was chasing, and I'll never forget, man. I got back to the University of Louisville, and I did not know how to register for classes. And this is back 2004, maybe 2005. This is back when they gave you the big newspaper. They gave me a bit like a little newspaper thing that had all the classes. And I remember walking into I want to say her name right, Meg Roman. I'll never forget her. I walked into Meg Roman's office and just laid it on her desk. I was like, all right, here we go. Let's pick my class. She looked at me and was like, no. I had to walk outside, schedule a time, schedule a time, and actually do it myself. And I had no clue what I was doing. Versus the schools that I went to, I ain't had to worry about that. Only thing I did was I had to show up in class on day one, and that was it. I had to worry about picking my class. I just told them what I liked and what I didn't like. I remember they were sitting me in a calculus class, and man, back then my mentality was different. I was in a calculus class, and I said, man, I'm a struggle with I'm a struggle with this. I'm a struggle with this. I forget. I went to our basketball team's counselor and our academic advisor, and I said, "You got to change my classes because I'm not ready to do this." Middle of the class, change my classes right there. So, not really being built for success right there. It's more like if you don't like it, you can leave. If you don't like all this stuff, and now with the NIL, now you're talking money. So are we really setting our kids up, our future up for success? Why is it the only thing that as athletes, the only thing that we know is sports, and then when that stops, now we're scrambling. Now we are scrambling. And it's like we're scrambling, but then we're holding on to what we used to do, how we were when we used to play, right? So, I bring that topic up because when Teague said it, that kind of resonated. That really, really kind of resonated with me just personally, and as well as I got brother-in-laws who were two of the best players out of Indianapolis, and I got cousins, down here in Louisville who we were top, and things like that. Cousins played overseas and all this type of stuff. So it kind of resonated because when we come back, it's kind of like, man, I remember, man, I didn't know what I was gonna do with life. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and you kind of had to start life behind the eight ball until you caught up. So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Share your thoughts, man. You got my link tree down there. Share your thoughts on that. And again, here's the funny thing, and I'm gonna call everybody else. Funny thing, I know for a fact because we're talking about something that's this deep, right? We're talking about something that's this deep. That's not about the accolades. It's not about the scores. It's not about specific players and all this stuff. This may not get viewed as much. This is the way the culture is, right? It's the way the culture is. Like we want to know, man, who scored what, who dunked on who did all this stuff. But then when it comes to like, hey, man, we need to really, really help develop these kids. Really, really help develop these kids. You know, um, and then also think about this, Rick Pitino, man. If y'all not following the on Vice Sports, they got his St. John's. It's like I guess they're following him around. Man, Rick Pitino. I'm gonna tell you, he's the GOAT. Shout out to Ricky P, the first coach to win at five different schools. Five different schools. Let me see if I can name them. Boston, Kentucky, Louisville, Iona, and St. John's. Not to mention, he spent what did he spend like 10 years in the NBA. Think about that, and was kind of successful in the NBA. The goat. Okay, nobody say the goat, the goat of college basketball. He even said, I'm not recruiting high school players right now." And I kind of agree with him on this. Like, it's hard. It would be hard for a school to put all their future excitement on a guy that just got out of high school versus I'm gonna hit the transfer portal. I'm about to get these kids that have been in here 2 years, 3 years. They got the experience. I don't have to coach them on things that I would consider um, housekeeping rules. These guys can come right on in here and they make a full impact. You know, but not just that. You want the experience. Coaches now, you want the experience. So the chance of your kid going Division 1 to somebody like a Rick Pitino, okay, somebody like a Rick Pitino, it's slim. Doesn't mean you're not worthy of it. Doesn't mean you're not good. It just means that for a guy like Rick Pitino, who is like, hey, we're losing three, four of their top players this year, and they are. We got to hit the transfer portal because we have to replace it. You want to know why? Because his job's on the line. So as a high school player, you got to understand. You got to understand. Either I'm gonna get rid of you, or they're gonna get rid of me. The game has changed, man. The patience that most we used to see coaches. I grew up, man. You seen coaches at schools. You thought they're gonna be there forever. You thought they were going to be there forever because of the focus and the growth factor and the patience that these schools had with coaches was there. Now it's not there. It's not there at all. They could care less. They literally could care less. Hey, oh, you're not getting done? Go. There was a coach on Instagram. Um, I gotta find it, man. It disturbed me, but I understood what he was talking about. He's been through five coaches in like 6 years or something like that, and he was talking about that and was talking about how We're talking about how, if you don't, I'm not going to sacrifice for the culture that we have here at this school. I get it. I get it, but maybe you should be a little bit more selective, right? A little bit more selective. Maybe you need to be a little bit more patient because your school did not get the culture that it got with you as the AD or whatever position he had immediately. We have to think about that as well. So yeah. I mean, it's one of those, because my season's getting ready to start. I'm not coaching high school this year. Um, but I have my AAU program, the Midwest Spartans, and now that we kind of turned that into a nonprofit, Midwest Spartans Elite Youth Program. And so, you know, this is the journey that we're about to go on this year. And we have some new really good kids that are coming back, some really new kids that are coming to join us. We got some returners. Um, we still got spot looking for a big and a wing right now. So still got a couple spots open, but this is the message that we're bringing is like, we've done something different this year. Is we brought in a character coach, and the reason I wanted to bring in a character coach and I agreed to it was because I feel like right now these kids have so much pressure on them to, I'm not gonna say be the best, but they have so much pressure on them outside of basketball that they don't even know. That they don't even know. You know, if they, I mean, I know how it is. If you play bad, you're gonna hear about it. If you play good, you're the best thing since sliced bread. If you played okay, you always hear you can do better. You know, um, and there's just a lot that goes on in a young person's mind. So we brought in a character coach, and what we want to do at our program with the character coach is literally we want to have them, do a little devotional, talk to them about just life in general, but also how to navigate through life. At that segment, I want my kids to understand, man. Listen, yes, you know, our program has a 90, I forgot the exact percent, but it's over 90% rate of the kids that go through our program go to college to play basketball. We're not a shoe team. A lot of people don't even know about us or whatever, and a lot of kids have come into the program and left the program because of a shoe deal, because of X, Y, and Z. Man, we are traditional grassroots. Your kid would be in the best shape. We work hard. We play hard. I coach hard. My staff coaches hard. Um, we win some, we lose some. You know, um, but there's lessons to be learned, and sometimes kids need to hear a different voice, and we're going a different direction with a character coach. Come in and spend not long, 10, 15 minutes with the players, about things going on in life. And actually, he's a former player of mine, who played in college, and Jacob King, if you know him, give him a shout out, Jacob King, who is definitely going to come in. He's going to run with him. I'm telling you, man, this kid can go. He's going to run with him. I we're taking this different approach because I'm really a believer in this. I really think this is going to work. I really do think this is going to work, and I want the kids to understand that how to deal with life, how to deal with life coming from somebody else, right? And being a good person and all that type of stuff. I think it's important right now because the way that these kids' generation is, and the way the world is going right now, there's so much uncertainty right now, right? And I want to fill my kids up with a lot of positivity. So that's the direction that we're going. And along the way, we're going to talk to them about the whole recruitment process and all that type of stuff. And I think that stuff is important. And also, it's important of like, what else do you have in your bag? Not your crossover bag, not your behind the bag bag, not your scoring bag. What else do you have in your bag? What do you like to do? Do you like technology? Do you like IT? Do you want to be an actor? Whatever the case may be, right? Because I think that's also important that they understand that you care about them as a person. Care about them as a person. Some people may hear this and be like, "Oh man, I'll never go with that program," and that's fine, and that's fine. But my kids will not be the kids that literally will be like, I have no clue how to register for classes. I have no clue how to do anything in life outside of bounce this ball. Yes, I want them to get paid for doing it. Don't get me wrong. I want them to go to school for free. I want them to be able to get a scholarship and go. But I also want them to understand that one day, this sport, father time, injury, and father time are two things that are undefeated. Two things that are undefeated. That's all I'm trying to prepare him for. That's all I'm trying to prepare him for. All right. Hey, but listen, man. Thanks for tuning in today. Tuning in today. I know it's a little different pace, pace today. Thanks for tuning in. But hey, check this out though. Next week, uh, down here in Louisville, region tournament starts signing. I will be catching out some games, man, and I can't wait to see the excitement. Hey, y'all, this brick background is actually going to be no more. We are actually in the process of moving today, so man, I know I may have to get a backdrop that has a brick that has a brick because I'm loving it myself. But hey, but listen, thank y'all for tuning in, man. I know it's different kind of pace today, but share this, man. If you got kids, you listen to this, listen to it, man. We are on Apple, we are on Spotify. It's all down in there. It's all down in it, down in the meat of it. So you guys will have it, man. Check me out, man. Check me out. I'm very excited about this and the direction that it's going. Hey, my link tree, hit me up. You want me to talk about somebody or whatever, hit me up so I can do that for you. I give you a shout out too. All right. Hey, listen, peace out. Have a great day. Always remember there's more to the game. Peace.